So I've decided that for Mental Health Awareness Month, and Tuesday being Suicide Prevention Day, that I want to share some of Maya's story. Maya was my beautiful 19-year-old daughter. She was funny. She was artistic. She was caring. Above all things, she was loving. She was our oldest, and she took on just this great big role of being the biggest sister. She was an influential part of every single one of her siblings' lives. That she wanted to be there for everything. In fact, every time I was pregnant, she would be there just talking away to the babies just so that she could tell them everything that she was going to do with them in their lives. What 19-year-old do you know that on Friday nights would spend the night with her siblings making videos, just funny videos, so that she could hear their laugh? That's what she loved most, was just hearing their laugh. Anytime she had any little bit of money, she wanted to spend every single little penny on her siblings. Because that was who Maya was. She loved being their sister. She was such a happy little child. She never wanted for anything. She excelled at sports. She excelled at school. She was a leader. She didn't come from a broken home. She just happy, I guess is what I should say she was. She was always happy. When she became a teenager, she started struggling with mental health, probably about when she was 14. This is when her mental health came up front. She started having just thoughts of harming herself, and we spent countless hours in the ER, countless nights in our local adolescent psych unit trying to get her help. It was a challenge though, because there's not much mental health support. So if you went to the ER and your child didn't say that they were suicidal by any means, it was hard to get them psychiatric help here at the hospital. And so we went round and round multiple more times at the hospital just trying to get her help. She struggled through her teenage years just because she didn't have the help and she didn't have a proper diagnosis. They threw out diagnosis after diagnosis after diagnosis, and I think it was finally when she turned 18 that she was finally diagnosed appropriately. She got her mental health under wraps and was able to live each day with a great outlook on life. Unfortunately, after she got her mental health under wraps, she met this boy, and we started noticing changes in Maya that it wasn't Maya. Like, she would come home crying, and we would sit by her bed hour after hour just because she was falling backwards into the darkness instead of moving forward. We noticed that there were weight changes, that she was thinking she was fat. She wasn't fat by any means. On October 15th, 2023, my daughter ended her life. After just a horrible fight with this boy. she wanted to die. Her mental health had been waning. About a week before this, she told me that she broke up with him because she knew that he wasn't good for her and that he was making her mental health worse. And so she told me, Mom, I broke up with him and I'm just gonna work. She had goals. She had an apartment that she had picked out. She had a cat that she wanted so bad. She picked out. She went with her friends. She picked out a backpack because she was planning on going back to school. All she wanted to do was become a social worker and help children with their own mental health. That was her goal. That was what she wanted to do with her life. On October 15th, though, it all just... It was a good day. We woke up, we laughed, we joked, we had lunch together. And that boy texted her, and he started just horrible text messages. And so she, at that point in time, after all these text messages came in, she's like, I can't do this anymore, Mom. She sat down on her floor. And she's like, I can't do this anymore, Mom. I need to die. And she's like, I'm fat. Everything that he told her up to this point, she just let it all out, that she was worthless, she was fat, everything. And I sat down next to her, and my son sat down next to me, and we told her, no, Maya, you're not that. You were anything but everything that he told you. You were everything else. You were perfect. Like, she's perfectly imperfect. She was Maya. I don't know how long we sat there with her. So everything was fine. We got her situated. She started joking with us again. She started laughing. And I told her, I was like, Maya, you see your life a lot different if you weren't with it. And I told Maya that no matter what happens, I'm going to save you because that's my job. So after, I don't even know how much time we spent here, she was like, yeah, okay, I'm fine. And she was joking. She was back to her normal self. And so I left. I had a soccer game, had to leave too. And I left her in here. She was like, I'm going to take a nap. The biggest regret I have in my life was walking out of this room that day. Oh, biggest regret. What I didn't know was the messages that he had sent her. In fact, he deleted messages off Snapchat that the police say there's nothing they can do about. But the messages that she received from him that day, it destroyed her. She told him she was going to kill herself. She told him, and his response to her was, okay, you can call me or you can end it. Basically, you can just kill yourself right now. I don't care. The last message that my daughter read from this boy on her phone was that he was tired of looking bad because of her and her actions, because of her and her mental health. That he had to look bad because of that. She felt like a burden to everybody, especially him, because her mental health was destroying his life. I left my house at 2:00 that day. When I left, Probably about, I guess, 20 minutes later, she walked into my daughter's room and she stared out the window like she was looking for somebody, like she was waiting for him to come. But all of the messages that he sent her the last 2 months of their relationship was he wasn't gonna save her. That whatever she did, he wouldn't save her because he wasn't in the relationship to save her. What was he in this relationship to do? Destroy her? I got home at 4 o'clock. I was gone 2 hours from my house. 2 hours. When I got home, I told my kids I'm gonna go check on Maya because I didn't even get up to my stairs before my child found her. Her sibling found her. Which the worst part is, the month before that, she texted me and she said, "No, Mom, I don't ever want to kill myself in your house. I don't want my siblings to find me because I know how awful it will be." And they found her. Her sibling found her. And the worst part is that I came in and I told her I was going to save her, and I couldn't save her. I promised her. And my promise was broken. No matter how much CPR I did, it's in my eye. I already knew she was dead. My kids are haunted every day now by hearing me cry, by knowing that their sister died. Now we live in a broken house. My 5-year-old begs to die just so that he can go see his sister and get hugs. My toddler, she now embraces a slab on the ground of concrete, of granite that has her face on it. That's her way of hugging her sister now. Sitting in this room, it's just a reminder that everything that once was is gone. That no matter how hard we tried to save her, we weren't able to. Unfortunately, there's no law here in Nebraska that prevents somebody from saying, kill yourself, and that person die, and that person getting prosecuted as such. There's no law here. There's no justice. My daughter didn't get justice. That boy walks the street to these days, and my daughter, we watched her be lowered 6 feet into the ground, where she rests for all eternity now. It's not just our family that was impacted by this. It's her cousins, it's her aunts, it's her grandmas, it's her grandpa, it's her friends. Everybody that actually truly loved her has been impacted by this. So for this month, if you don't have a story to tell her story, tell something, help somebody. If you know somebody is contemplating doing what she did, get them help. If they tell you that they're going to do it, get them help. Don't tell him, okay, do it. Because in the long run, this is what happens. This is the impact of suicide. This is what it does. It destroys you. And you never, ever the same after. Losing a child is... Now, this is where my daughter is. She resides in a picture. She resides in the sky. And everything else. But here on Earth.
Correction to add. I meant to say she met up with a boy from her past and started seeing him. He was not new in her life.